Right, good afternoon, Speed Gaming 3. Welcome to some more Link to the Past Randomizer tournament action. Today we have a Group U matchup between Jaejo and Saber. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Raylan Tankier. How are you doing, Raylan?
I am doing fine, and I am excited to see another race of this tournament. So many races, so many rando, and so many really, really interesting races that have happened.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a loser's bracket race. If Saber loses, he's done. It is if he wins, then they will go to a game 3. And this is Group U, so whoever does come out of this is going to face either Goomba or Dracaris, which either one of those is going to be a tough matchup to get into brackets. But obviously, you need to get through this one first.
And although the following matchup might seem pretty hard, basing on that names, in this tournament field, every player can win against anybody. So
yeah, absolutely.
They have their chance, and we will see who gets their try at staying in the tournament and who is done.
All right, we do have a standard start. Let's see what's in the uncle chest. Oh, nice, the sword.
So
if our uncle weapon is a sword, we might come out of escape with a master sword. That could happen.
It could happen, but that's only a 1 in 7 chance so far, at least from the uncle. There are 7 possible starting weapons, and yeah, sword is just one of them. We had a quick map check with a green pendant Hera and 2 normal crystals, Desert and Eastern.
Okay, what is the uncle going to give us today? Ooh, bombs.
Ooh.
Actually, that's really nice, because now you have the sword as the not intended weapon, but you have those bombs. You don't have to worry about prize packs. You don't have to worry about, are you going to get bombs to the sewers? Just go pick up your chests and move on.
This is like probably the best possible opening, at least weapon-wise.
Yes. Not so interesting for us, because not as much to talk about, because we don't care about prize packs now. But
I mean, it could have happened the other way around, but then we would have only had 3 bombs, so we wouldn't have had bombs for Kakariko, but we don't have to worry about that as well. So probably just hoping to maybe get a bit of money on the way. We got already 20 rupees, so good start on that front. Or maybe a bottle to take to Kakariko, a flute. Maybe a bow to go to an early Eastern.
Yeah, and we got that bottle, which is nice. So being able to check Sick Kid the first time through Kakariko is always a nice thing.
Sure is. And I do know Saber a bit better than some of the other runners, and I think he's probably very happy to have an early bottle so that he can get some additional safeties for maybe early Dark World dungeons. Because doing them on green mail still can hurt you pretty bad, and having that safety is something that most runners probably like, but I'm pretty sure Saber especially.
Yeah, I mean, that is the biggest thing with hard mode is the lack of mail upgrades. Tempered Sword is not uncommon in a regular run, and in fact, if they ended up on Master Sword and this weren't hard mode, they would still end up on Master Sword, because the next 2 swords are still available, just the 4th one will turn to green 20. Mostly you end up with 13 or 14 hearts in a regular run anyway, so that's what we usually end up with in hard mode. Don't get silvers, of course, but and don't get a mirror shield, but most runners don't want that anyway. So that mail upgrade that's not there is the big hard mode thing to me.
Aside from maybe having silvers for some of the earlier fights.
Yeah.
Especially on Vitreous.
Yeah, Vidi's probably the more. Yeah, I'd say I would miss silver, not having the possibility of silvers on Vitreous more than not having the silvers on Ganon.
Yeah, we are continuing our somewhat vanilla random start. with a blue boomerang we found. This time in Zelda Cell. Usually NMG would have picked up that one just earlier, but we still have it.
Yeah, we are pretty similar to an NMG loadout right now with that boomerang. Obviously, we wouldn't have a bottle or bombs in a regular NMG run. But then again, in NMG, we don't care about what's in the sewers, so...
Almost through the first half of the standard sequence. We're now entering the sewers. Going to the Dark Cross. One more chest there, where maybe an item or the map that has not showed so far, I think. But we do have the small key we need already, so...
Jaejo killing some of those snakes. They have the same drops as soldiers. I think it may have been the rupees. And that right there has to be a mail upgrade because we haven't maxed anything else out. So it would have been a nice luxury to have early.
Yeah, and
Instead, we get money.
I can see Saber rolling his eyes from here. He really would have liked to have that. Saber remembering, or at least trying to use the boomerang to save a few frames, not having to walk to that key to pick it up. There's the map, so we do have an item in the sanctuary chest. But back of escape, not really much of use for us.
I mean, the 50 rupees is nice. That basically gets you enough. I mean, they're not going to need to buy bombs, so that gives them plenty. They would have had enough before that. But, you know, money becomes a factor sometimes. If Zora becomes in logic early, nothing worse than walking over to Pod and not having enough money. So, I mean, definitely you're not going there if you know it's going to be 50 rupees, but you're not going to turn it down either.
Yep.
Canis of Mario, that's a nice item. That's an important, likely a required item. Actually, no, I guess it's not guaranteed to be required. We still have two pendants we don't know. It could be Meyer and Turtle Rock that are pendants, but just it would be unlikely at this point that's what would happen.
For Samaria to not be required, we would have to have Meyer and Turtle Rock as pendants, and the big key in GT to not be only 5 chests on the right side. So it's very unlikely at this point that this cane wouldn't be necessary to finish the season.
Don't normally walk away from a bush crab dropping bombs, and in fact, I probably would have grabbed 2 of them, but he's got 8, so
yeah.
300 rupees sitting there on the lumberjack, so we're not going to be killing Aga for the item. 300 rupees would be nice, but that's a long way to go for that much, even for that much money, so not happening.
I mean, we do have a sword already, and if we are forced to do Aga for Dark World Access and are low on money, having that information knowing where you can pick up 300 can come in handy somewhere in the mid-game. Or if you want it for potions, but yeah. That's not something we would do Aga for. Saber did not decide to do that romantic check, so it's already into blind hideout. We'll grab the first of the 5 item checks here in Kakariko.
Ooh, a lamp.
Starting with the lamp.
And a Master Sword, speaking of Aga. in logic right now. And there's another mail upgrade.
Yep.
so this were not hard item pull. We'd already be on red mail.
Red mail would make the seat already pretty comfy.
Yeah, it really would. And we should see if any of the runners rush Aga earlier. Probably gonna at least do things like South Shore first, but maybe you'll skip Eastern Palace in favor of just going to Aga. We do need a Moon Pearl, though, so, I mean, don't need a Moon Pearl. We can kill Aga without the Moon Pearl, but that's not exactly a play most runners will make.
An Ice Rod. We won't search that today.
Well, you know what people say about finding an ice rod this early.
Yeah, this, if I would play the seed, that's really the point where I would mark TR as a pendant on my tracker.
Exactly.
We do not know yet, so there's still a chance that this might be required. Oh,
Ooh. Don't think that was intentional.
nope. I mean, I never had that situation happen to me before because I already just went, or when I went into the bombs, I always had more than one heart. But I know of those cases, and yeah, dying in the well there before you get to the items, that's painful. And
Yeah,
I can
he's gonna
fully
have to go
understand.
back there. Yeah, he's gonna have to go back there at some point, but it looks like he's not gonna go back there right now. We can just move on.
Fully understand that. Just try to maybe get a flute for when you make your way back to Kakariko. Just hope that there's not too much of importance lying there around. Which there is not really something that would be needed very soon.
Yep. Missing that ice rod could be a problem if we do get a pendant. If we don't get a pendant turtle rock, though.
Yeah, but by that point, Turtle Rock could be available. I expect Jojo to have head back into Kakariko and get that. Because you do not skip 4 items in the world.
No, that would be that'd be pretty unusual.
Jeju already got a glove from the trip to the dam so far, so we're moving along.
Yeah, Saber about to get that. And now has Zora money, but not a whole lot of incentive to go over there when you don't have at least the Moon Pearl to sequence break the Waterfall Fairy.
Usually you would say that, but maybe, and this is just theory, because of the death and with the glove Zora being in Lodric, Jejo might think along those lines. So I had already something bad happen to me. Maybe just see and try to get a Zora item early if it's required. Because if you get a required item on Zora way earlier, or earlier than most people would, you usually can get a little bit of a head start on the seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looks like that's possibly what's going through Jejo's mind.
Oh, Saber using that bottle bee to help kill the mini moldworms. I always like that.
Yeah. Had the sword beam, so it was not really as valuable as it could have been, but yeah. When you have it and you did not turn it into money in the bottle vendor with its golden bee, yeah, this is one of the cases where you can make use of a bee actually. So yeah, quick thinking on Saber's hand there.
Okay, there is that fake flipper from Jaejo. Looks like he's gonna do the hobo first.
Yeah, you can get your fake flipper back when you are at Hobo, so if you're going to attempt this play and not just want to check Zora, there's one more item you can get out of it this way.
Yeah, this is such a slow check. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I mean, if it's something good, it's just bombs. Okay. I kind of like that play more when I don't have access or I don't want to do the Zora area and I have gotten so little out of everything else that I don't really want to they want some sort of direction and just hope to spike something early.
And Saber apparently
he's farming money.
Fake flippers. Which, at least in Saber's position, I am a bit curious about, because you do not have a Moon Pearl, and you do still have the entire eastern area open.
Also not sure how he has so much less money, considering he's checked more, but... Okay, I didn't see what was on the ledge. Guess we'll
I
get a
did
second
get
chance with Sabers. Check.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Jaeju didn't have to pay the bottle vendor.
Oh, there you go. Chat on it. And hopefully we'll get this back before the item is tossed out.
Does
Not
not
looking
look
good,
like
though.
it. Oh. I don't think it was money we got from Zora.
And I think he had 556, so I think you're right.
And it does not look like we got a shovel. To destroy, running right past that shovel spot.
We'll see it on Saber's side, hopefully. Chat saying definitely wasn't boots.
Well, if it were boots, then Jaeju is apparently more of a walker than a runner.
Yeah, Chat also saying bomb. This bombs or arrows would be pretty likely, because I guess he's got 20 arrows, so maybe bombs is more likely. So we can get a better look at the ledge. Oh, it's just a green something.
Money.
Green 100.
Yeah, so I just remembered that I did see that item on the ledge, but immediately forgot about it because it wasn't anything.
Yeah, I do that all the time. It's very annoying when you're going through, like, Ice Palace and Misery Mire in particular. I'll forget what the item is, and I'll forget whether it was an item, and then with all those small keys, it just gets confusing.
It does not happen that much in those two particular dungeons, but
No, it was money.
Important.
It just wasn't a lot of money. He might not have picked it up, too.
Yeah, that could have been it.
Okay,
But
so
yeah.
now what are our options? Our options are not great. We can go up the mountain and get 2 items and look longingly at a 3rd item. That is fully in logic with that lamp. We can go to Eastern, which is a crystal dungeon, and good chance you'll have to double dip it because no bow. Or we can just rush Aga. Oh, and there's Agina. Agina's sitting there in the middle of the desert, minding his minding his business. So, not a whole lot of great choices right now.
There's at least a Zara's closet which you can somewhat quickly check without having to double dip Eastern, and that are 3 more items, which at this point are about half the checks you can make.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for a runner to go there, and if there's something good in Za's closet, just leave with that. And if not, then make a different decision rather than just going, or at that point, then go into Eastern, perhaps. It's a hard decision when there's nothing there. Saber is opting to go check the mountain first. I mean, at least here he gets a save quit spot, so there's definitely even though it's only 2 items, at some point you are going to be doing this.
Yep. And Jaeju will follow through. Oh, wait. Also vendor. Didn't have enough money, so... Okay, will still follow on the mountain. Just had to pick that one up down. Yeah, it does make sense. You said it. We get that save and quit point, which does take... that makes getting back to the mountain much easier. If Saber...
Saber.
Ouch.
Well, this won't set him back too far because it'll start him with the old man.
Yeah, but still...
See that every day.
That's quite a long walk you have to retake there. So both with unfortunate deaths in the early game.
Yeah, Saber losing a little less, yes. Not quite. I mean, Saber didn't lose nearly as much time with that death. Just a piece of heart.
Through this time. And yeah, dead rocks and those sky cabbages, like some people
are not kind.
Sometimes they just kill you, and there's not much you can do about it.
Okay, we're gonna see an item. Actually, we can see the item up here, which we can't get. Just a piece of art, so we're not worried about that one. looks like bombs, so nothing here.
So I'd expect to head for them now to head over towards the eastern area, because it's
Yeah, I
now
think so.
up to 6 items versus 1 item at the Gina being left.
Yep. Now, I mean, in general, I if they already had the Moon Pearl, I would actually like the Aga play. Just do it. The seed is screaming Aga at us, but without a Moon Pearl, that's really risky, because once you're done, if the Moon Pearl's not sitting there on the pyramid, there's not a whole lot you can do.
I was actually about to speak exactly about that Moon Pearl, because there are options now. If you are finding Moon Pearl here in South Closet, do you continue into Eastern, or do you just say, yeah, this will be an Aga seed, I have all I need?
I would probably
just go for
I would probably leave and go to Aga, but I'm a little aggressive on these things. And Flippers just opened up, 2 more locations actually, because we've seen all the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to be aggressive on the Aga play in that situation in hopes that that's the right answer. But a lot of people will check everything before they go into the Aga play, and sometimes one is the right answer and sometimes the other.
As for the current race, both runners decide to not follow the Flippers so far and get those 2 items, but rather head into Eastern and get 2 items at least here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everything but Armos in logic with that lamp.
On the other hand, that means both likely have to double dip Eastern, unless we find a bow in here.
Yep.
Which, remembering what we found in our escape sequence to start the race, may not be that surprising, actually.
I mean, it certainly could happen. There's 2 bows out there, so one of them could certainly be here. Either way, it doesn't feel good to have to go into Eastern Palace without it.
Yep, it does not. On the other hand, without that Moon Pearl, there's not much you can do in the Dark World so far, so no real reason to rush Aga.
And honestly, even with the Moon Pearl, your plays would be Bowless Pod, which might get you right away, or Catfish. So.
What if it be maybe an easier decision with a mirror in addition to a Moon Pearl?
Yeah, especially the mirror would be really nice, because then if you're wrong, you can just go ahead and mirror straight into Eastern, and you're really not losing a ton of time as compared to, because then you're doing both those dungeons at the same time. That was our second item, I believe.
Yep, that was the second. 3 bombs and 20 rupees. So Eastern.
It's like vanilla big key.
Yep. Not looking very valuable so far.
Nope, not looking good at all. And really bad thing about those Flippers is getting back to the Zora area is going to take quite a bit. I mean, it's quite a walk down there to the whirlpool to get over there.
You have Flippers. You can just walk to the right and jump into the water.
Yeah, that works better. But it's still, it's still slow.
It
still doesn't feel good. But you do it because you're looking for a Moon Pearl.
And it's not as slow as taking the walk down there all
yeah,
the
agree.
way. So. But yeah, that was another option that you had open. And oh, Saber getting that anti-first here.
Nice
and probably did not really need it at this point, because you're only check the big chest from here and you probably won't die until you get the item. This one, and
well, it is 3 items. 3 really not good items. And I guess Zora's the next play.
Or Waterfall Ferry, more specifically.
Yeah.
As we checked Zora.
The Zora area. This can't feel good because you're the whole time you're thinking my opponent didn't do Zora separately, and now I'm doing it twice and double dipping it.
But it is your, or those 2 are your fastest checks left right now.
Yep, and
Yeah.
Agina is the only one left.
Aside from the pyramid.
A mirror.
Mirror. So back up the mountain.
Well, for pendant, yeah, pendant Tower of Hera. This just gets
Green
grosser and grosser.
I mean, it's green pendant, so 3 items.
It's 3 items.
Yeah. We do have everything we need to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that mirror here
also ends up being an unnecessary double dip of the mountain. That they don't know that their opponent has also done.
I think at least it's more likely that your opponent will have doubled up the mountain with how the items are laid out. But yeah. There could have been a potential for your opponent to just skip the eastern area and do all of the flipper checks together, which would have made at least more efficient early game routing than what we have seen from both our runners. So probably both not feeling all too well here. Saber deciding to pick up that piece of art, getting a chance up in maybe earlier the art container.
Either that or you just mirrored in the wrong spot, which can happen. It's a pretty convenient spot to pick up an item, though, to be honest. We do get the big key here, so we don't have to worry about going and doing the cutscene and doing the tile room, and you go straight on up and just hope that there's no item there.
And immediately getting the small key.
I was about to say we hope not to see that small key, but game says otherwise.
Oh, and Jaejo has to be careful again, back down to 1 heart. Tried a bit too hard to get to the chest fast and damage boosted through the flames. All of this is painful. We are only on 4 hearts still. On green mail, every hit that Moldon gets into you does 1 heart of damage.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that you don't hit the switch there to make sure those extra hearts are available. Okay, looks like Saber's not comfortable doing the tricky bomb jump here. Don't blame him. It is a huge loss if you fall down. And it's a heart. You only have 4 hearts, like you said. You want to conserve them probably. Jaejo just can't because he's got 1 heart. He would die if he bomb jumped.
He could have picked up 1 heart that was there.
Yeah.
1 pot below the one he picked up. The right side there. Which I do not see too many runners pick up, so I'm not sure how many actually know about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly a heart that can be valuable to be picked up when you have so few hearts.
And they're going to, in the end, enter the Moldorm fight at the same time.
See if Moldorm does let her runners down. Saber had to wait a bit, but is now using Master Sword spins. 3 of those, skip the rage phase, and kill Moldorm. We did not have a hammer as in the different weapons, so...
And that's a map, so the last item is in the basement. And I think you have to go for it.
At this point, you have to.
And they both are going back in.
And if it's not here...
You turn in that green pendant, I guess. And then there's Agina. I'm running out of things to do before we are just forced to the Agaplay.
Jaejo using the Cane of Samaria to get a little break here. Saber deciding to try it with the Ice Rod.
Yep, just gotta wait this one out.
Nothing else you can do right now. You need to wait until all those tiles are destroyed. Saber luckily not getting stuck there. And his shield.
That's not what we were looking for, game.
And JJ apparently not falling through the green pendants. That's saying, okay, maybe it's Agina. And
Saber just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go take the risk and go to Aga. I don't think I like either one of these. You went out of your way to Hera to get that green pendant. I'd want to see what it was right away. Saber may be figuring that he can mirror there on his way to Pod, but Pod is not a lot available in Pod right now. I mean, it might not be bow locked. In fact, there's a really good chance that if the Aga play is required, the Pod won't be bow locked because the only other option right now is Catfish.
yeah, on the other hand, if there's a hook shot on the green pendant or something like that, that's the risk you are taking, leaving it behind right now.
Yep, absolutely.
We
Okay,
see
Agina's nothing.
not Agina. Yeah,
And this is not a fun Aga Tower. This is normally you tend to have better items in your inventory for this play than you would in an NMG. Well, this is much worse because you only have 4 hearts. You don't have even the bow. You don't have boots. I mean, you have Ice Rod, which can do some things, but
yeah, at least have a boomerang to stun the guards if you need to.
you do, and of course, if that boomerang is typically in an NMG run, so that's a wash. But yeah, it's just so often you end up with these Aga Tower plays where you have like a fire rod, or you have a hammer, or you have a tempered sword. Yeah, you just wouldn't have an NMG, and this is just the opposite.
You do not even have boots to dash through all those enemies. You have your Cane of Burn now, so if you're in dire straits, you can just take out an invincibility item.
So to answer the question in chat is why are they doing Aga before they have the Moon Pearl? Because between the two of them, we're down to one location left, the green pendant turn-in. And Saber deciding to chance it and see what's on the pyramid ledge instead. Jaejo did check Agina. It had nothing, so also deciding to risk not turning in that green pendant. And they're probably going to go to Pod pretty quickly, both runners.
Well,
and you can mirror right in front of the Saha closet before, or right in front of Saha to turn in that green pendant then.
They do have a little problem though if they want to go to Pod, because both of them are on 97 rupees. That is not enough.
That is a problem.
But Jaejo still can get 10 more rupees at least in the tower from under pots.
Saber, go back, grab that rupee! He does not realize his problem right now, because otherwise he would grab that rupee. And we have a green, oh god, a green rupee stun prize. Ooh, Jaejo taking a death at a really bad spot. Like I said, 4 hearts for Aga is not fun.
I mean, I just saw that arrow. That was a real snipe there from the Bogart to the right. So, yeah, showing why 4 hearts scream at Aga Tower, this is indeed not fun. And he would probably like to have that fairy in a bottle, but we did not find the botnet so far.
Shoot, I mean, he's only got 3 hearts. I would just grab the fairy.
Yep, each heart you can heal is valuable on this climb. Jaejo taken now very safe.
And of course, both runners will have the same number of blue balls. I haven't really been counting so far. I don't see any guesses in chat, so...
It couldn't have been that many. That was a somewhat quick Aga 1 fight.
I'm not sure there were any, to be honest. There's one person in chat saying there were 0, so...
Jaejo getting through the last dark room time. And we have a shield.
Yep. Okay, so I guess we turn in the green pendant now.
Saber saving but quitting.
He's
He
got the
could
mirror.
have walked.
Yeah, you got to use the mirror and then save and quit. Can we get? How far can we get? Yeah, we can get to the. Yeah, we can absolutely get to mirror in front of Saha. So.
Yeah.
Not a fun walk.
Nope, definitely not. But it's possible. But there's still that problem of not having enough rupees. Jaejo is just one short right now. Not Saber still missing those 13.
Jaejo now has enough. The worst part is, since Saber doesn't realize it, assuming this is a Moon Pearl, which maybe it isn't, could be a hook shot, like you said earlier. Could be the hammer, which would feel really bad.
I don't know what
It's
the hammer would do.
Oh, it's true. Without a
Oh,
Moon Pearl,
right.
hammer doesn't do anything. Oh no, hammer would
Yeah,
also
it's
get us.
same
Hammer actually
thing
does the
with
same
hook.
thing as a hook shot. Yeah, it would give us East Death Mountain access. This could still be an Agaseed. We'll see what's over on Paradox Cave, but there are 8 checks we're going to do here. 7 on Paradox, and then of course Spiral Cave.
And that's the kind of reason because that's the reason why I wouldn't have or would have turned in the green pendant earlier, because there was just the option of hammer or hookshot being on there, possibly not requiring Aga at this point.
Yeah, I guess, like I said, I like the Aga gamble when you have Moon Pearl. I don't like the Aga gamble when you don't have Moon Pearl.
But both runners doing kind of the same things so far. So
no advantage, disadvantage here, other than Jaejo taking that death on the Aga Tower climb. Also, Saber now has enough money to go into pods, so that's no longer an issue.
Well, he doesn't have a Moon Pearl to get into.
There it is.
There he has it.
And Mitts. So Aga not required at all. Because guess what? We got Mitts, and for those of you that may be thinking, you might need it for that East Dark World access that sometimes happen. We already have flippers, so that's not a thing either.
Saber taking a moment to think if you want to get over to Spiral Cave and deciding, nope, I'm going over Dark Death Mountain, which is now open to us.
Yeah, with the mirror, you can do Dark Death Mountain going up and then do Spiral Cave going down, so that works out pretty nicely.
Also, that ferry that was on Saber's screen there wasn't really nice to him. Just flying out of reach there, giving him that one heart feel. Jaejo getting hookshot and also saving and quitting because there's not much else you can do.
Super money with just some money.
And we do now have enough for pot and for the digging game, which we can reach.
Check the medallion here. Haven't seen a map check yet. Ether for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I mean, you just entered Dark World the first time here, and usually when you're on Dark Death Mountain, you have done your map check already, so it's maybe not the first thing on your mind.
Maybe not. There's a book.
Well, we can check that.
I'm going to desert. Heart, piece of heart. Piece of heart.
Saber now with a kind of painful decision because he didn't jump to Spiral Cave earlier, because he can now decide between doing Spiral Cave and... Ooh,
there's a hammer.
yeah, you kind of want that.
Yeah, should have checked that really before going into Hookshot Cave, but not that big a deal. He's going to go get it now. And then I think you go and... Well, now you have the Spiral Cave versus Spike Cave dilemma. I personally always go for Spiral Cave in this situation just because it's so much easier to get back to Spike Cave later.
The thing
we're
about that
pretty
is,
low health. I mean, the cane will get us through, but you're gonna leave there with 0 magic, pretty much.
the thing about that is we have the ether tablet now to check also over there. So now the map check. Port is abandoned. This is Skullwoods. Saw crystal on Thieves Town. Red crystal. I missed the last one.
Let's see what Saber decides to do. Looks like he's going... Well, mirroring here doesn't tell us anything. Okay, going for Spiral Cave.
Yeah, it's the one you would isolate more if you skip it. Because with the mirror,
Spiral Cave is really hard to get back to. And Jaejo gonna do this right now and then do his Dark World checks, assuming he does do his Dark World checks.
well, if he does not, he should have seen the hammer, so he would know to go back into Dark World at least, and then why skip those 6 checks you can make?
Okay, Saber is starting at Sanctuary. This could be a Village Outcast Thieves Town play.
Yeah, with Skullwoods Pendant, you do not worry so much about having the fire rod for Village of Outcasts, and maybe just dip the front of Skullwoods to see if you get one or maybe both items. And Crystal Thief Town, you can full clear it. So Saber probably thinking about, yeah, that's what I want to do. Get those out of the way. And you can route that down all the way to Hype Cave. And then do Swamp Palace.
Yeah. It's not a bad route. Okay, not going to do any of Skullwoods at the moment. I don't blame it. It is a pendant.
Yeah, sure.
And to all those that say Skullwoods is just overworld, I tend not to agree because you got 3 keys, a map, a compass, a big key. I tend to agree more with that statement in a key sanity setting where you are getting items guaranteed.
Unfortunately, whenever I think along those lines, that's when the fire rod is in Skullwoods.
I know, right?
For me. So I'm usually thinking about Skullwoods, deciding to skip it and feel bad an hour or for an hour having done it. So yeah, we will see if it comes back to bite Saber. For now, he will go into Thieves Town for a full clearable crystal dungeon.
Yeah, still has the Bombable Hut there to check. I'm a little surprised you don't do that first. There's so many things that can make this better. Like, oh, I don't know, boots. But odds are pretty good they're not there, so it makes sense to just go ahead and drop right in.
Are there any more items that would make this really much better than the boots?
Tempered Sword would be nice, but yeah, those would really be the ones. I mean, Tempered Sword doesn't change the blind fight, but it does allow you to one-shot all the enemies in here, which is nice.
Well, you do not really want to kill them anyway, and you have the hookshot to stun them if needed, so I'd say Tempered Sword really does not make much of a difference, actually.
Oh, I like killing the enemies here if they're in my way. But you're right, the hookshot will allow you to stun them, and that does help as well.
And Jaejo taking the mountain full clear, deciding to walk back over towards Hera to check the ether tablet and go possibly into Spy Cave, although he is pretty low on hearts and magic.
Yeah, I think you have to do Spy Cave at this point, but yeah, you're right. The logic for Spy Cave, I think, is always got a green potion. But yeah, the logic for Spy Cave, I think, assumes that you're going to have a full magic bar, so to use that cane or that cape.
Yeah, but full magic bar is always thought for, so it's in logic.
He is going for it.
Yeah, they could fill their bottles with green potions. Oh, getting a ferry at the waterfall ferry, so they should have two both.
Yeah, not using the hookshot to save a little bit of health early on.
Ooh.
This is, yeah, he's got to be very quick on that potion and very
quick
to switch back. This might not work. Okay, he does do it fast enough.
Yeah, I think with Burner that's not too much of a problem, but the cape has a cooldown that's pretty long if you switch to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, just gets 20 rupees for his trouble, though.
Saber using Lookshot to pick up that heart and gets the 25% chance of getting a second heart on that pickup. Nice little trick and misses the fairy, unfortunately. So we'll have to continue on 4.5 hearts so far, but all down through the attic on the way to the maiden's cell.
Okay, looks like Jaejo's going to start south to north because that mirror started at the pyramid. I don't know if it would have been faster to just mirror and save and quit again to get here. It's hard to say.
Well, I mean, you
You're
can just
not...
do Swamp first.
Yeah, he could do... Yeah, okay, Swamp is full clearable, is it not? Yeah, wow.
So it's really more of a preference of how you want to tackle the seed. Does give Jaejo this chance to maybe find a fire rod or decide on when he wants to do, or when or if he wants to do Pendant Skullwoods.
And
After
that's a
all
bow.
that.
That's a bow for Saber. Doesn't really get any items unless he wants to go into pod. Which he probably doesn't, given that it's a pendant.
True. Still find items in there, but you have so much other things open currently.
Yep.
It's probably not on your high on your priority list. As we remember, Eastern, all 3 items already out, so no reason to finish that dungeon till you're in go mode, really.
Absolutely. Or until you're got to the point where you're gonna try and go to pod for something. So definitely don't want to rush there. So really nothing in Thieves Town. Oh no, that's not true. They had a bow in Thieves Town. That's not nothing.
Well, it will be considered as nothing for now, because it's nothing that will immediately give you more options or different routing ideas.
Exactly.
But it's something that we will have needed to find eventually. So
Of course, there could be another bow available. Of course, the other one could be in GT, so there's definitely possibilities that might be the only one. But they're both going to get it because it's Crystal Thieves Town. You're going to full clear it.
Yep. So Saber now with the decision on if he wants to do the Smith chain on his way down to Swamp.
Yeah, I think you do. Well, you do the dig game first because the dig game guy really doesn't like it when you're bringing up Owler here. And then if he wants to do the Smith chain, he's going to have to go back up. So in some sense, Jaejo's routing is going to be a little bit beneficial in that he can just do the dig game and walk on north with the Smith.
And on the other hand, Jaejo's route without the flute will kind of force him to leave behind the purple chest or do not dip into Skullwoods after all. Which Saber can get the purple chest on his way to the South Shore if he wants to, or to his
Yeah,
swamp.
I think you do because you don't have boots, so you don't care that you're not able to run. So you just drag it all the way just drag it all the way down to all that stuff.
Another thing is Saber will also have the ability to check the Bombos tablet, which Jaejo has left behind for a bit now. Of course, you can always do that before or after Swarm, but yeah, that are those little differences that these routing decisions make for those runners.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I would do a little bit different. It ends up not. It wouldn't matter. I'm not convinced it's faster to turn the Smith in and then do hammer pegs, or do hammer pegs and then turn in the Smith. But giving yourself one extra check to find the boots, not necessarily a bad idea to make that hammer pegs play a little bit faster.
I think it makes more sense to check hammer pegs first. The powder is on there, so you can just mirror once to the light world, check the powder, and get the purple chest. So I think it's always better to check hammer pegs in that situation, but boots on the Smith could have made hammer pegs easier, so yeah.
Yep.
You never know.
So it's very, very small details that probably don't change much in terms of time unless you get that lucky find of, like you said, the powder on the smiths or the or the boots on the the powder in the hammer pegs or the boots on the smiths. Okay, Jaejo gonna make his way into Thieves Town.
We'll get the bow eventually. Saber has to be a little bit careful to pick up that purple chest before heading back into the portal. And we immediately see it doing a little dance around the purple chest, making sure that it's actually following him. Because
there are a lot of mishaps that can happen. We did elsewhere. We had half magic in Thieves Town too, so that's certainly not a needed item, but certainly a very nice item.
2 bottles now, half magic, and our heart count steadily rising. I think now our runners getting more and more comfortable in the seat. Still would probably like to see in Tempered Sword pretty soon, but we're doing okay for now.
Just purple bombs chest. In the purple chest.
Jaejo not missing out on those so far, but we have Bombo's tablet. And Saber has the option to route in Egina and possibly Desert after this.
He hasn't done Hype Cave yet, so I don't know if he does that first.
Yeah, but his way back to Hype Cave would be faster than his way back to Desert if he does not find the flute.
That's true. He is going to do Hype Cave, though.
Is he?
That's where it looks like he's headed. I mean, maybe he goes into Swamp first, but...
That's the thing, or that's what I'm seeing.
Oof. He's doing Swamp first. I don't like this. go do Hype Cave first. I mean, we know there's nothing there, but he doesn't know that.
I'm also not sure if I really like this, because those 5 items in Hype Cave are pretty fast compared to the 6 in Swamp.
Yep.
But, well, for efficiency's sake, if both have nothing, or if Swamp have your items, you're closer to Swamp first. So we know from Jaejo there was not too much important stuff in Hype Cave, and yeah, Saber's play will be more efficient this way.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we still need. We need a flute. We need at least ether, possibly a second medallion. Might need boots, and we need a fire rod. So still a lot of pieces missing to the puzzle.
So it's not unlikely that he would have full tiered Swamp either way. But if there were the boots in Hype Cave, he would probably feel really bad afterwards.
Oh, for sure.
And if it's just one check like Hammer Pegs, okay, but Hype Cave with 5 tries to get them, that's actually not too bad a chance.
Yeah, there's that bow on Jaejo's side.
Meanwhile, Saber coming up on the decision of doing Diver Down first and get the left side immediately, or head into the back first.
I'd like to see him. I mean, unless we see a big key, I'd like to see him head to the back first. I am especially the big key in particular. If we go into the left side, when it still could be 2 dungeon items, I don't like it. And my least favorite thing is when you go to the left side, you don't get a big key. You go to the back, you do get a big key, and there's 1 more item in the big chest, and then you have to make the decision. You still end up having to make the decision as to whether to go back in or not. You know, a lot of times, if I know I'm going to do left side, I'll let the big key and also the map and compass kind of help make that decision for me. If I don't have a big key, and if it could still be both map and compass on the left side, I won't do it first.
We did find 2 items, I believe, so far. And Saber did head to the back first, get compass and the map
There's the map and
immediately.
compass. We still haven't seen the big key, so it means he's gonna be going back in for 3 items most likely,
I mean,
unless
the big key's
key's in the big chest.
Yeah, the big key's just coming up here.
Could be, or
No,
not.
it's not,
Could be on Argus.
Could be on Argus. That's now 3 items out of Swamp and no progression so far. So slowly but surely that pot play may become more and more attractive.
Yeah. Although I could see going into the desert and checking that out. That's actually a really tough one because you don't know if you need boots, but you kind of want to know if you need boots.
Especially in Saber's position now, as he still has to go back to Hive Cave and then all the way back to desert when you were already there.
Yeah.
Kind of. Jaejo will have a similar decision to do now, though. Will also head to the Bombus Tablet, has not done Skullwoods. So both runners leaving that behind.
It was a very nice first round for Argus there, doing those sword spins, showing the difference between having a Master Sword and a Tempered Sword. The Argus fight's pretty significant.
Trying for the Ice Sword stats in the second phase. They're a bit different than the Fire strats since the Ice Sword projectiles are way slower. But you can actually just, if you spam the Ice Rod, can just one cycle there pretty easily without having to use a sword spin, so...
Alright, so 2 items still left. Let's see if he goes back in for them. Nope.
Yeah, and that's Saber's problem with having done Hype Cave, or not having done Hype Cave. Feels really bad to head back for those 2 items before checking Hype Cave out, so... Yeah, I agree. I'm not really a fan of doing it this way.
Jaejo gonna head into desert in kind of the way that you had described earlier.
Yeah, I mean, flute boots, they can just be here and you're already there, got the book, so why do not take a peek into them? Jaejo has checked both tablets, they have not turned up anything so far, so why should we have gotten that book? Maybe, just maybe, we actually are supposed to go in here and find something.
Or we could just find a map and not be able to go any further.
Yep.
I'm not sure where he's headed now.
Well,
I didn't see what was on the ledge, but I guess he can just jump out here. But didn't he check Agina? So this doesn't...
He did check Agina, but he did leave his portal down.
He just wants to go back to his portal. That makes sense.
With Agina already being done, I'm not sure it's worth it this way, because you can just save and quit to Link's house and get into the Dark World again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really sure if this is actually faster. But I think it's slower, but okay.
Well, especially since you had to do an extra set of... because you would have gone to Bombo's tablet with the portal, and then you have to go back in the portal, then you have to create a new portal, so... Saber just going to go ahead and bet on Pod, and it's not a whole lot left beyond this. I mean, Skull Woods is a thing, of course, and Left Side Swamp. We'll see if Jaejo does Left Side Swamp.
Well, it's the route Saber kind of forced himself into it. Decided on skipping on Left Side Swamp, and yeah.
And might as well do Eastern while we're here.
Yep. Yeah, while you're here, of course, this is not getting faster unless you get the boots. And... unless they are in pod, which is why I might have preferred Saber to check that first, but... well...
yeah, that would be reasonable.
Really matter.
And at this point, if you end up full clearing Pod, now you're down to just Skull Woods for your ped. What even can be on ped? Let's take a look. So your boots could be on ped, and we know they're required now. Fire Rod cannot be, because of course Fire Rod is needed to beat Skull Woods. Flute can be, and your medallions can be. So there's still quite a few ped possibilities here.
Unfortunately, there's no bombos on pad for Fire Rod and Ice Palace possibilities.
Nope, can't
To
have
make-
that.
To make the seed one of the worst possible actions that could have happened here, but yeah. Pad still has quite a bit of items that are possible to be on there, so maybe Saber saying, okay, it's just a Fire Rod away from Pad. I will need to find that 40R anyway, so maybe saying, okay, left side swamp, won't have anything anyway. 5 item spot, and if not, I have the pet option.
Okay, gets that compass off the Armo signs. We knew this wasn't going to be an item.
This clear was just for the crystal that we will need to enter Ganon's tower. Nothing
Okay.
else.
Looks like Jaejo also going to go straight to the back.
Yep.
He'll have that same decision at the end. We'll find out there are 2 items left there, and we'll have to decide whether or not to go back in.
And Saber now entering pod. And we now, almost half an hour later, since our first trip here, will finally see if it was bow locked. And it was.
It is bow locked, okay. But we have a bow now.
Can now get all the items. We'll have to go over the right side though. No small key for the front door.
Yeah, probably gets 2 small keys here. Because of course pod has 4 small keys in the front 6 chests.
Picking up those arrows there was down to 7, and we might want to have at least a few more. With not having a tempered sword so far for an easy hammer fight. And we will need some arrows eventually to see it. If not for GT, then we would at least like to have a few for Vitrius.
Absolutely. Although honestly, that's a good reason to do Eastern first before pod, is to make sure you go in with your full arrows. And not quite as big a deal. You don't quite need 30 arrows in pod.
But there are more than a few arrows to refill here after. And
yes, there are. Ooh, that's not a good death.
Green mail, hard item pool strikes again for Jaejo. Argus, with every hit he does 2 hearts of damage.
Okay, so I like what Saber's doing here. It knows that the big key chest and the drop down are going to be both small keys, and he can avoid going to both of them by the big key chest will be a key for a key, and then the drop down he can avoid using by just doing a hammer jump to the dark maze.
Let's see if he does go for it.
Yeah, there should be an item in Harmless Hellboy. Normally with 2 keys you would say there isn't, but he's actually got 3 keys available. He's just realizing that now. Yeah, you want to go through this way, and then you want to do the hammer jump, and that'll save your key.
Almost got trapped, and yep, that's the big key.
Would be a little better off going all the way around, just because there's a weird little glitch that'll mess up your hammer jump. So no, don't go through. Okay, well now he's got to grab a key.
Yeah, I mean he has the mirror, so he has just to drop down, grab the key, mirror, and walk through again.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna get the left side swamp play from Jaejo, so we're gonna know exactly what, if anything, Saber left behind here.
Pot's empty so far.
Yeah, very empty.
Even more empty, and okay, Helma does have an item.
Yes, he's gonna go get it.
Yeah. That's basically left side swamp, which Saber skipped versus Helma.
I think someone's gonna find a fire rod. I just don't know which one.
And do you know where we find it?
Well, I mean, one of them is going to find it. I'm just saying either Jaejo's going to get it on left side swamp or Saber is going to get it on Helma.
I mean, I told you earlier that was the fire rod we skipped in Skullwoods because we did not do the dip. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay, first test left side swamp is just bombs. And this will probably be the big key just to make this the worst possible key layout for this route.
Big point for Jaejo here.
Big key. I still think it's worse to get the big key at the back and have to go back in having already done left side swamp, but
it at least feels the worst. Not actually sure it is time-wise, but it probably is.
Yeah.
And big point here. Nope.
Wah, wah.
Swamp.
And now he's going to go back and do Argus since he died before. And that makes sense to just go ahead and do the left side right then. Because now you know that there's items there.
Definitely.
So Saber going to save a ton of time if he never goes back there.
And he will never go back there.
Not likely. When you leave left side swamp with that like that, you're not going back there until it's your last location.
Yeah. So Saber actually in a pretty good position here right now.
Yeah, so what are remaining locations? We're running out of places. We'll see what's on Helmasaur. We do have potentially 2 items we can get in Skullwoods, potentially no items. And I've seen a couple of seasons lately where both items have been in the back. And chat rightly pointing out Catfish, Graveyard Legend. I think that may be it between the 2 runners.
Saber has the Ether Tablet and Spy Cave left.
Yep.
Has to be a bit careful here.
Yeah, I'd like to see him pull out that bow.
Yeah.
Or the cane. Actually, the cane is probably safer.
We do have half magic, so plenty of time to use the cane.
Yep.
Getting those last hit in with the Master Sword. And Helma is not the
answer. Either. Okay, I was wrong. No Fire Rod.
Well, I told you it's in Skullwoods, so...
Okay. Well,
they
just have to wait and see who goes there first.
Yeah. So, both with a heavy time sink right now. Jaejo at death in Swamp and the unnecessary left side Saber. And so far unnecessary Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, that could still be, I mean, Ped's still alive. Although it's not in logic till we find a Fire Rod, but you said that Fire Rod is going to be in Skullwoods, so...
Yeah, I mean, we do not have much options left, so we do have to find something.
Now, looks like Saber is going to head over to Desert, which is unfortunate because nothing there but one of map or compass, I forget which.
Map. I actually do remember for once what we found there.
Now, let's see where Jaejo goes next. He may also be doing the pod play at this point.
I mean, in Jaejo's position, it's 5 items there.
Yep.
It's really hard to find reasons to put this off any longer.
Completely agree.
You have gotten your bow from Thieves Town, which does not lock nothing in Eastern. So why do we get it that kind of early?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just a numbers play.
I don't think Saber ever did Agina, so he might do that after he's done here.
Yep.
I'm gonna find out very quickly that you can't do anything else. Okay, it was a map. Just gonna walk on out.
Get that Agina check in. Get 20 more rupees for his troubles. Yeah, and then it's
It's North Dark World checks
Yeah.
and Skull Woods.
I wonder if he does go first for North Dark World or first for Skull Woods. I'd imagine with...
You still have Spike Cave and Ether Tab, which we know is nothing. We'll see if he goes for those.
Hard to say.
Okay, where are we headed,
Maybe.
Saber? Sanctuary.
Looks like
This is looking like Skull Woods.
North Dark World, yeah. Well, it could be either of those, but with Catfish at the end of the trip or through the North Dark World, I'd imagine Skull Woods.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to do the
sense.
North Dark World stuff, you're going to start at Link's house and run by the pyramid.
Would have been the option to do Catfish first that way and get a Fire Rod for potential pedestal play.
Yeah, and finish it off at Skull Woods. And either way, he's going to be able to check ped. It's a little bit trickier to check ped in this case, just because mirroring in the right spot when the head of the back is still there is a little bit harder. Oh, yeah, and chat rightly pointing out that they've already checked pyramid because Aga.
But still, you can take the Aga portal and check Catfish first, and then
yes.
go that way to Skull Woods. On the other hand, it's possible to get both items here in the front in Skull Woods, which is faster to get those 2 checks than get the other 2 checks first.
And we start with a small key. I like getting a small key there because then you can just go to the left here.
Yep.
Yeah, we start with a heart container.
Number 1.
Another small key. Raylan, you witch, you!
I know this
all
game.
All along, you said there's going to be a Fire Rod in Skull Woods, and there it was.
I know this game. It's the moment when you do not do the front dip into Skull Woods. There's where your Fire Rod is.
By the way, do you ever get that right when you're actually playing? Because I know I get it right much more often when I'm not playing than when I am.
No, because when you dip the front of Skull Woods, it's never there. It's always when you're not dipping that it's there.
Saber really should have grabbed that small key under the pot there. It just makes the back much easier. You don't have to kill the last Gibdo. Although we're gonna find out whether or not he's. Oh, see there. Yeah, you want. This is what I'm talking about. It's much easier to do this mirror if you've already gotten rid of the head there. So Saber gonna know right away whether he needs to finish his dungeon.
Can check pet, and if it's not, then just head straight over to ice.
Yeah, we're doing pet.
We're doing that.
Because that flute is required.
Yep. We do want to save that duck.
So that'll give us Mire access. Except we have no medallions.
Well, it does give us Mire Shed access.
Yeah, Mire area access. And we still need boots, so still quite a bit away from go mode here.
Well, we do have access to Ice Palace now, which is
I think
so that's 5 items locked behind that palace.
Yeah, so I think what you do is you go get your flute. You flute over to the Mire area to find out what medallion you need. And so you can check Mire Shed, and so you can check Hookshot Cave. And it's not unusual to have that key on the doorstep situation. And then assuming that you can't actually go into Mire, or that you don't find boots for desert, then you head straight over to Ice Palace.
But make an argument for checking Ice Palace first, since you're probably for clearing that anyway with Icebreaker. Just not too painful, and if you get boots and or a medallion on the way, then maybe you can enter Mire the first time you get into the area.
Yeah, that's also a really good argument.
On the other hand, you might want to check Mire area first to maybe get a tempered sword for Ice Palace to make that dungeon easier.
Honestly, I'd probably just, as far as Ice Palace goes, with Fire Rod and Half Magic and a couple of bottles, get a couple of green or blue goos, and Cold Stare is pretty easy no matter what sword you have.
True.
Gonna go pull that pedestal.
Yep. No way around it.
So all that book really did for us is allow us to read ped before pulling it. Because, I mean, if you didn't have the book, you would have just gone and killed Moth. So it kind of wasted their time.
Well,
in this exact situation, no book, you just go kill Moth and you hope ped is the answer. But with the book, you check it first in hopes that it isn't the answer. And of course it was. And so you end up wasting time checking.
on the other hand, you just got a fire rod which opens up 5 more items. And there's no item left on Moth. And you have already had so bad of a seed. There's the other way you can try to argument this and say...
Yeah, leave with that
maybe
fire rod.
Yeah, maybe my opponent will actually go for pet because it would be the thing to do in that position. And try to save that minute or two because you need it. With the book, I'd say you have the ability to check, so...
Oh no, you definitely check. If you have the ability to check, you definitely do.
That's an active loot. Saber immediately using it, and we will see that's a Meierstadt first.
Yeah, and the nice thing about doing this first is knowing which medallions you need means that if you find if you find enough of that stuff in Ice Palace, you can just finish and maybe skip iced tea, save a little bit of time that way. And it is ether, so we're double ether, so we just need 1 medallion. So we're down to 2 items from go mode: boots and ether medallion. Okay, boots or ether in one of these chests. Or
usually
hookshot. Or sorry, checkerboard.
Or
a shovel. Oh, shovel. Okay, I guess you gotta check that before going to ice.
Do you though?
Maybe not. I don't know. It's annoying. It's a very annoying time to get a shovel.
I mean, you can do Ice Palace first, hope that you could actually get both items, and then check shovel before doing red bomb. So
yeah, that'd be reasonable. And of course, checkerboard has nothing. Oh yeah, we do have pyramid fairy. That's true.
In the end, Ice Palace is a crystal after all, so you will have to do it at some point.
And Saber says, I'm not going to check that shovel right now. I'm going into Ice Palace.
Should have still at least 1, maybe 2 green potions left from way early in the seed, so...
Yeah, so magic really shouldn't be an issue. Which is good when you're only on Master Sword for the Cold Stare fight.
Definitely does give you some sort of safeties. Security with you.
Meanwhile, Jaejo, having finished up Pod, is now going to go finish up Eastern. We'll see if he chooses to go to Skullwoods right away, or if he does some of those North Dark World checks first. Which we still haven't seen.
Saber immediately getting the big key.
Yeah, I like getting the big key early here. It guarantees that if I don't hit the switch, I'm not going to be screwed over with a big key hunt. The layout that gets you in this situation when you don't hit the switch is the big key in Iced Tea Room, and all your items before that. A lot of people will just like to hit the switch no matter what, because some of it's just muscle memory and.
Well,
now in go mode you just hit the switch, just period.
Do, definitely. Yeah. In not go mode, when you full clear, actually, I think many people do not hit the switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Just full clear. Because if you do not hit the switch, getting to iced tea after the big chest or after the freezer room is not that bad. Saber going to for iced tea first. Anyway.
Looks like Jaejo's gonna do some of those North Dark World checks and heading over to Catfish. It's gonna be pretty big if this is a Boots or Ether. Because it might still be a while before Saber gets there. Although if there's nothing in Ice Palace, I don't think he's got any other choices left other than the the ether tablet. Well, he does have choice. So he has that ether tablet in Spike Cave. He's got left side swamp.
Oh, but he does still have the red bomb leading into Skullwoods and Graveyard Ledge. So
yeah, I think he does red bomb first.
Yeah, in that case, that would actually feel or be the more likely play.
Yeah, I mean, he consciously left those other ones behind, so I feel like it's just the better choice is to not do them. But of course, we know that it's nothing, so it's easy for us to say that. Oh, there's Ether.
There's Ether.
We got Mire access. Now we just need boots to finish Desert. And we may never find out what's on Catfish. And we get Powder. So we got another fetch quest. We got that shovel and we got that Powder, and we have no idea what Jaejo got it at Catfish. It
does not seem to be the boots. And no Tempered Sword.
Yeah, and those are the only things that would matter.
There's still Graveyard Ledge.
That's where he's headed next.
Of course, the best way to enter here. We do have the mids though, so we do not have to take the long way. Saber is now on to Cold Stare, and at 12 hearts, complete filled magic bar, half magic, and oh.
That's a lot of trash sitting there at Graveyard Ledge.
No, that's a very little piece of trash.
Good point.
Oh, Saber gets a bit too aggressive.
Oh, Saber, no.
Running out of magic.
Does not have a fairy, so he's got to do that all over again. Oh, that's going to give Jaejo a little bit of time to catch up.
And we still do not have the bug net, so there's no way for Saber to make too much use of that powder.
I don't think we saw the bumper ledge earlier. We just saw it on Jaejo's side. Just sort of a green something or another. A green rupee of some sort.
Yeah, the bumper ledge never did really fit into any of the routes of our runners so far. Saber would have probably done it after Skullwoods, but...
Yep.
When he was done with the dungeon, he had better things to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he probably would have routed this, that North Dark World with the, right after Skullwoods, had Skullwoods not been the answer.
Another pretty clean icebreaker from Saber. Making use of that menus, pause the game, get those on-frame movements in.
Mm-hmm.
Do not have to buffer that, but if it makes it easier for you, it's always better than to try 2 or 3 times.
Okay, Jaejo going to continue on in Skullwoods, having that Fire Rod. Not really a surprise. He's been a lot more thorough in general than Saber, so don't really see him switching that now. I do like that he picks up the small key here, because now he doesn't have to worry about killing the Gibdo if he does end. Well, he will, because he'll either check pad or he's just going to do it.
So, another try for Saber. Still does have 1 green potion left.
And Jaejo doesn't care about what Ped says, just going to go do it and just going to pull it blind.
I mean, at this point, you're already here. So
he's also checked so many more things than Saber has. This may actually literally be his only thing. Well, it's not anymore because he's got that Fire Rod. But see, that's how you do it, Saber. That was a nice kill. Always get the, it feels like every time you die on a boss, the next time you go in, you just get the perfect kill.
That's how this game works. That's why this Fire Rod is always in Pendant Skullwood's front when you not go there. Okay, do you do Mire first or do you do Pyramid Fairy first? think at this point, Maya's a crystal. Go for Maya first if the boots aren't there. You can skip all of the overworld. Apparently Saber
Or
doesn't
you could
even
go
taste
Turtle
TR.
Rock. That's okay. I didn't even consider that, but yeah, he's got full access to it, and wouldn't be the first time Turtle Rock had our Go Mode item.
Has the most items left in the game.
It does. Also, if it doesn't have it, this actually routes in very nicely Ether Tab and Spike Cave, if
True.
in a way that doesn't lose Saber a ton of time.
Oh yeah, I think actually in Saber's position, TR maybe makes the most sense.
Okay, Jaejo gonna get his flute.
I personally probably still would have preferred Meyer because of the chance that if the boots are in there, you can just Go Mode the entire rest of the seed.
Yeah, I mean, Go Mode Turtle Rock is not a great Go Mode dungeon, but the extra climb up the mountain, not having to do that is certainly worth consideration.
And you do not have to make the decision on Ether Tablet or Spike Cave or such things.
Okay, Jaejo gonna activate his flute. We'll see if he goes to the Mire area before heading over to Ice Palace. Okay, Turtle Rock's just a slow dungeon in general.
Yep.
Starts with that small key.
That's a potion refill for Jaejo. Does make sense.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I would have liked to see Saber pick up a couple of blues at some point, but he's gonna dive right in here. This will be a no joke Trinex fight. Does have powder to get some anti fairies turning into fairies for some refill, and Jaejo gonna head right into Ice Palace. So we'll save a little bit of time that way.
Saber does still have one green potion left, and if he decides to go TR first, he will have to get back down the mountain once again or once more, and maybe he will have used his green potion, then can buy 2 potions, for which he done that. Only does have to do 1 trip. So if he planned it that way, I'm not really too much against not refilling before TR.
Sure.
You have Hammer, you have Master Sword, and you have half magic. So if you want to do a safe Trinex fight, you can still just do Master Sword slashes and take a few more cycles, but use the Master Sword hitbox. You have plenty of magic.
Okay, but unfortunately, this is the one spot where actually I think this might be the big key. I don't think we found it yet. So you're not even losing as much time as you normally would be, because you would usually grab the key, go ahead and steal this key, and skip the lava chest. But if this is big key, then obviously you can't do that.
Yeah, and Saber knows that he still needs the boots, so there's no way you can.
No, you're not skipping this normally. I just mean that you're not losing time by having to check this, because you would have had to. Oh wait, it isn't the big key. Never mind. You are losing time by having to check it, because it's just the compass. I missed them getting. Oh, maybe that was the first. No, the first chest was the big key, I guess. No, the first chest was small. No. It must have been on the.
Had to be on the right side.
Yeah, it had to be on the right side.
Or on the chain jump side. Didn't pay full attention.
Okay, Jaejo gets his ether.
Does know about the need for the boots, so grabs the powder.
Okay, we're gonna get a Mimic Cave check. And not Mimic Cave.
Jaejo using sword beams actually to save some magic, breaking the cold steel shell.
Yeah,
Pretty
when you
nice
do that,
trick when you know.
yeah, you can. If you do it optimally, you're going to use half as many fire rod shots doing that as you normally would. I was able to have a really nice cold stare fight by doing that. Piece of heart. Running out of items. We know there's a key on Laser Bridge. Let's see where Jaejo goes next. Okay, gonna go to the Mire area. We'll find out that he can go in.
Won't find anything in the mire shed though.
Yeah, still looking for those boots, just hoping that they're here. We know they aren't.
Oh, I mean,
Ooh,
they
a
could have been
tempered sword on the Laser Bridge, so that's a nice item.
Does make Trinix considerably more easy.
And there they are.
they.
Wow. So Saber in go mode now. I would have liked to have seen. Okay, go take the safety door. Okay, he's got powder. He can powder the anti-fairy. This is fine.
Does he have magic? Okay, he has just
Yeah,
enough
just
magic to
enough
get
to
it
use the powder. Powder, unfortunately, a very low magic usage. So good call on Saber's point to go ahead and do Turtle Rock first. And foregoing 2 fetch quests, didn't check powder or shovel, and not being baited by Mire. Jaejo looks like not going into Mire. Maybe gonna check that powder first.
Yep. Also, then possibly doing the shovel afterwards.
Yeah, this entire seed, Jaejo's just been a little bit more thorough than Saber. Checking left side swamp, doing Spike Cave and Ether Tablet on the mountain when Saber didn't.
But none of those checks had the required progression,
Yep.
and so Saber pulls further and further ahead as Jaejo gets something blue from the magic bed, in form of a third bottle of blue goo.
And just a red rupee on Trinex. But at this point, Saber doesn't care. He's in go mode. He's gonna go over to go mode Mire, go mode Desert.
Has to remember though that he has to mirror before saving and quitting, but he has the flute anyway, so
He's got a flute.
he should use that.
Shovel was just 50 rupees. This might be the Pyramid Fairy check on Jaejo's part.
Yep. Can still decide to turn in the shovel first, just laying the portal onto the way to Red Bomb.
Yep, could do that.
On the other hand, I think with the Pluto 4, you would have just went to shovel, then shoot back to 4, or went straight to the portal from there.
All right, we'll see how good our Mire is. You know, we're in go mode, so of course the big key's not going to be here. Come on, game, give us a good big key location, or give us a small key.
No.
We got one more shot at it. Pyramid Fairy with absolute trash. 50 rupees and a single arrow.
And of course, it's not a Godmire.
No, of course
Why
not.
would it be?
It's only a Godmire when we're not in go mode. So if Saber had come here first, that's where the big key would have been.
Yep.
And Jaejo gonna go do Mire, and this is not gonna go well because he'll probably full clear this dungeon too, based on what we've seen previously. And not gonna find boots.
Yeah, and it's not a friendly item layout so far.
Okay,
Saber
there's the
getting
big
the
key.
best option of not Godmire.
Yep.
Okay, apparently Jaejo wanted a companion for this dungeon.
Yeah, carrying the bird into the dungeon. Didn't realize it. I guess it lets you do it and just disappears. Also, Jaejo doing this with a Master Sword where Saber has a Tempered Sword. That's going to make a difference as well.
Yep, definitely will.
And Saber also can have the option to do dash strats on Vidi.
Which he might actually opt to do. Half Magic and Burner, okay, it lags quite a bit, but it's the safest fight you can
Yeah,
pull
it's
out.
pretty effective.
And on just even on 12 hearts on green mail in a vicious fight, they can disappear faster than you can look.
It's like Spooky setup got messed up a little bit. He's gonna have to go back to bombing here.
I think he got it in the first room, but
He did.
Not really find the spot to do it for the second. And Saber indeed pulling out the Cane of Burner and going for the dash strats.
I mean, it's kind of laggy, but it's also kind of fun.
Yeah, and even if it's laggy, it is pretty safe. Eight arrows for the second phase. One for the wall behind Vitreous.
And maybe that's our sword, because another 20 rupees.
We will actually get a chance to know.
We will. Well, we won't know. I mean, if it's a sword, we'll know. If it's anything else, we'll know it's not a sword.
Or not. Yeah, it could have been the silvers. I'm not sure if we reached hard piece or hard container limit.
I bet he's got one.
Maybe
he can't have. Definitely doesn't have both. He probably has one, and we probably haven't seen Sankart because Sankart's always Sankart.
If we would have seen Sankart, or if we have seen Sankart, then we may have not hit the limit on both of those.
Yep.
But yeah, with Maya done, there's just one more dungeon to complete before we can head up to Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
And it's a pretty quick one.
And to answer the question about does blue mail exist, yes and no. It is placed. It also turns into a green 20, and we found both our mail upgrades early because we saw green 20s before they could be literally anything else, before we maxed anything else out. So they would have been on red mail very, very early had this not been hard mode.
Yeah. On a normal item pool, we would have been at red mail at 10 minutes.
Yep.
And we would have actually had blue mail for the escape. So, Tracy, I believe we are getting our 7th crystal, so maybe we should mention something that we are going to do now.
Ooh,
what is it?
What is that something?
Can you tell me? I'm not sure. I haven't done this in a long time.
Well, we will be checking GT 22 locations for the GT Big Key. One of those locations. Yeah, go ahead and put your. Oh, okay, our tracker Derek doing the job. Shout outs to Derek, MVPs of the tournament. Put those numbers in chat, 1 through 22, and we'll see who gets those swag internet points. You have until Saber enters GT. And of course, we have this extra climb up the mountain because the game just did not let us do TR last like we always want to.
Nope.
And just to recap a little bit, this wasn't oops all dungeons because both runners did AGA, and it turned out to be a completely unrequired AGA. A little bit unfortunate because they both went to Hera to get the green pendant and then decided not to turn it in before doing AGA, and green pendant had our hook shot, which eventually led to the Moon Pearl, which is the thing they were missing. And yeah, that's right, and myths, the things we were missing to do Dark World. And the seat kind of was screaming at AGA, but it sometimes it lies.
And those sometimes are not that few, so the seat really does like to tell you AGA, and then sometimes just says, but you can do this.
It just laughs at you.
Yeah, but really, it wasn't all dungeons without AGA 1, but we did AGA 1 anyway, because why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Saber has entered GT, so we do not take any more guesses for the big key.
Alright, 1 and 2 are nothing. He does get a small key, so it looks like he's going to head over to the right side there.
Okay. Saber not feeling the 3.
Looks like did not get a tempered sword, so we'll get his tempered sword on Laser Bridge, no doubt.
Yep. So we will never know that we're all silvers, or maybe just hard piece or hot container. And not even Ganon will tell us if it were the silvers.
Yeah, because Ganon likes to pretend this is a combo rando and put the silvers in Super Metroid.
Well, apparently Jaejo found the mushroom somewhere.
Yeah, that must have been in Mire.
Got money for some potions, which he just bought then and there. Now heads up to Tartarok to finally get those boots, but at that point Saber will...
Oh, hi, Big Key. Could have been number 1, but nope, it's going to be number 7. Oh, 8? 8?
Nope, 7.
It's 7.
He did not do Tayo.
Well, shoot. We got the wrong person with the points, because we put in 8.
Is it 8? It's 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 7 because it's 2 in Hope Room and then 4 in the Compass Room. Yeah. Well, Lucky Scandalbar gets some points for guessing 8 and guessing wrong. Mistakes happen. It's fine. Scandal 1 and a scandal, says chat. So shout outs to those of you that actually got it right and guessed 7.
Yeah. There were at least 2 looking over it. I think I saw a 3rd. Yeah, so moving on.
Alright, gonna hit the gauntlet very soon.
At this point, though for Saber still has that 1 green potion left. And with half magic, fire rod, and a bow, he has plenty of choices on how to tackle this. The tempered sword does not really have to worry about anything. Has the powder to get refills on the end of it, so does not worry too much about losing health on the climb.
I mean, the only safety we could want at this point is a cape. Half magic and tempered sword is pretty nice for a Ganon fight. Alright, into land mode 2.
Does not get the one cycle.
Oh.
Shoots in the wrong
There it
direction
is.
with the fire rod. But I mean, at 1 hour and 45 minutes after this kind of seed, it's probably understandable that maybe your concentration is a little bit slipping.
Yeah, I mean, Saber's got to feel behind. He took that death to cold stare. He did the unnecessary Aga play. He doesn't know that his opponent took multiple deaths in other locations and also did the Aga play.
Yeah, there was that death, that additional death before turning the old man too. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's no reason for Saber to feel ahead here, but also has no way to know that his opponent had it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Saber. Doing the skips on left side swamp and the Ether Tablet and Spy Cave.
Yep.
Paying off. Not going for the Pyramid Ferry, instead heading straight to TR. All of those saved them a few seconds or minutes here and there.
Yep.
Now there's just Moldon 2 left, then Aga 2, and we can finally go down and slay Ganon. No
real reason to check any of these. Like I said, cape the only nice item left, and pretty good odds it's not gonna show up.
Could maybe get a bottle with a fairy or a blue goo or something like that, but
yeah, that's true.
All of that is not really necessary at this point. He does have the Cane of Burner if he wants invincibility, even if it lags a bit. He does have the one green potion left at least.
Yep.
So he does not really need additional safeties that much. Am I saying, and he is struggling at Aga 2 right now a bit? Yeah.
Finishes him off nicely.
That means there's just that one last boss to defeat. 12 slashes for each of the first two phases, 4 for the third, and then 12 spins in that fourth phase to be able to finish this game. Saber immediately switching to the Cane of Burner.
Yep, has it up just in case he needs it.
Has this missed one? It's before the Trident spin, so I had not enough time to set that up. Gets a pretty good position to do the second phase here. Gets into the circle, and then 3 double spins actually do the trick here. Pain to get out.
Very nice.
Takes a fire bat, but that didn't really matter at that point.
Yeah, we're down to we're past the most dangerous and most difficult phases of Ganon, especially in terms of taking damage.
And now going for the torch glitch, has the lamp out. Torch glitch achieved, and now it's to land those 12 spins while Ganon is teleporting away, or shortly before. Ooh! But you do not want to catch those fire bats in
No.
this phase because they can push you off. Their recoil actually works in the opposite way of the direction you hold if you get hit. So this feels somewhat weird or off if you do not know this fight.
And Jaejo gets into go mode just before this happens, so at least got to go mode before his opponent finished.
And will... Oh!
Don't know if he took the
Oh.
safety door.
I don't know either. Looks...
He did not.
No. It's the lesser of the two evils here. I haven't done the Mimic Cave and Big Chest, but does not matter anyway. Saber has finished Ganon. Just decide to stay away from the bridge, let it spawn first, and then cross it.
And finishes up with an official race time of 1:50:07. GG's to Saber. And we do see that Jaejo does forfeit pretty quickly thereafter. I can't say I blame him. Still has a long way to go at this point.
Yeah. And we do have Saber here for an interview already, so yeah.
GG's.
GG Saber.
GG, thank you. Hello.
So you had to feel behind with the unnecessary Aga play.
Yeah, of course, the whole time. It was really a scene of up and downs. I felt so behind after Aga, and but after I saw the flute on Pet, I thought, oh yeah, that could be it. And then I jumped to Cold there, and I was, oh my god.
Yeah, so you both did the unnecessary Aga play. It was a little odd because, I mean, you both skipped the green pendant, which was the key. Jaejo went to Agina before committing to Aga. But, yeah.
There were some games in my last tournament where I just did everything before Aga, and then, why didn't you do it earlier? So I thought,
oh, yeah.
Do it this time. And yeah, I already chatted with Jaejo, so we had the same thought to Mira on our way to Pod.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I mean, in general, though, you just did, he was just a lot more thorough after that. Took several also relatively costly deaths. You skipped Left Side Swamp, you never did Spike Cave, Ether Tablet, you rushed Turtle Rock with the Ether Medallion instead of going into Mire or going into like Pyramid Fairy or some of the fetch quests you found along the way. Just saved you a ton of time that way. You got to Skullwoods first and got that fire, which, by the way, your buddy Raylan was calling the entire race to be in Skullwoods, so you can blame him for that location.
Okay. Yeah, but at the end, I think it was pretty lucky for me that I went there last, because maybe if I found it earlier, I would just bail and go directly to Ice Palace, and then what about the flute?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might have been taking you longer to get there.
I'm just wondering, where was that book again?
It was...
book was in Closet, I think. Or?
Okay.
Not sure. No, no. Don't think it was Lightworld. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was relatively early, but I don't remember exactly.
It was on the mountain, because we could decide to check the
right side, yes.
The Ether Tablet after.
With Mitz and Moonpearl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it probably felt good to find the Moon Pearl finally, but then you're like, okay, this is fine. It still could be Aga required, and then the Mitz show up.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, oh well, that's some minutes lost. But yeah. Yeah, because of that, I also normally I never skip Left Side Swamp, but I thought I had to make up some time somewhere. So
yeah, Left Side Swamp was trash. You skip nothing.
And it was one of the reasons why you pulled ahead eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of the seed, you almost did the same things, maybe not in the exact same order, but it ended in the same places, and yeah. You had both those deaths that set you back in some way, but yeah, those skips in the end did pull you ahead this time.
Yeah, I felt so bad in Ice West because I traded beforehand, but I missed somehow missed the first fire rod shot to the right, and it was totally out of sync everything.
I mean, you had a really nice fight the second time in, but that always seems to, the first time in, you mess it up and you die, and then you go back in, and it's like you get the perfect fight, and it's like, where was that? Like,
yeah.
I think we've all done that before.
Yeah. I cannot really think of anything else to ask because it was a long time to get this done. So, Saber, I can imagine you're probably pretty done as well with everything.
Yeah, I am. It's always the all dungeons. So.
That wasn't oops all dungeons to be fair. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, it was definitely a lot of required dungeons regardless of the oops on the Aga play.
Yeah, any final words you want to let everyone hear?
Thanks, of course, for the restream. Thanks for commentating, for tracking, and for the technical things in the back. Sorry that it's that we started a little bit late, but things happen.
Things happen, but you don't have any reason to apologize for that. That was out of your control, so.
Yeah. But I hope it was enjoyable, and we will have a third one, so we'll see. Maybe again.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Thanks.
Gonna be that'll be a tough one, and then of course, should you get through, Goomba and Dracarys, whoever loses that series is definitely gonna be a tough matchup, but you never know.
I'm already looking forward to it if it happens.
All right, good luck to you moving forward. All right, we do have more matches today going on right now over on the main SpeedGaming channel. We do have Tiso versus Andy at 5:10. Also on SpeedGaming, we have Willard J. Bradley versus Asazas at 6:10. And over on SpeedGaming 2, we have Ben Teasy versus Skipsy. On the ALTTP Randomizer channel at 8 o'clock, we have Curran versus TJ Maelstrom. And on SpeedGaming 2, we have, looks like game 2 of Ben Teasy versus Skipsy. And then, this is an intriguing matchup. We have Fred Coughlin versus In the Name of DT over on SpeedGaming at 9 o'clock tonight. And then one last one on SpeedGaming. We have Pika Pals versus CS Tutor over on SpeedGaming at 11:40. So a whole lot more randomizer action coming your way the rest of the day. So can't miss that. Lots of good stuff going on tonight.
For sure. And yeah, I think that's almost everything here from us. Tracy, was fun.
Always fun.
We had quite a bit of race to enjoy. Maybe a bit too much, but okay. Not much you can do about it.
Yeah, we got to see a few extra dungeons today. That's okay.
Definitely, if you want to support the runners, leave them a follow. They definitely have earned it, this one. And yeah, I think that's about it.
I'd like to thank also not just you, Raylan, but also Derek doing the tracking, the MVPs behind the scenes, and of course everybody behind the scenes at SpeedGaming and running the tournament. Really well done, and just thanks to all of them and to all of you in chat. And we'll see you at the next race.